Hello.
Hey, Krisha.
Hi, Frank.
Happy St. Patrick's Day Eve.
I know, we're both in blue for St. Patrick's Day Eve.
Well, I don't know what today actually is, feast-wise, celebration-wise, National Day of-wise, but I'm glad we remembered not to put on green today so we can save green for tomorrow.
Well, we're going to blend in so well tomorrow that you won't be able to see us.
Well, we're early with the tablecloth and the garland, but
I love them.
yeah, I mean, you got to get your money's worth.
Yeah, and green is one of my favorite colors. Blue is my actual favorite color.
Oh.
But it's actually like a very specific blue, purpley. It's, those wildflowers that grow on the side of the interstate in the summer? Mm-hmm. It's like, they're kind of
flowers.
They're kind of light blue, purple.
Yeah.
That's my absolute favorite color.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's nice to know.
You can find us at krishaandfrank.com. You can get merch. If you missed yesterday's episode.
Oh, you might want to go back and search that one because Krisha was gifted a pair of not sweatpants,
They're
but
joggers.
Jogging pants. Mm-hmm. Shiny.
Yes, I still have them on.
Jogger pants.
You look down like, yep, they're still on.
I shouldn't have. I was trying to remember how to describe them, so I looked at them.
That was yesterday, Frank.
Today is St. Patrick's Day Eve.
I've changed clothes since then.
You certainly have.
At least the top half of me has changed.
As have I.
Yes.
And we do appreciate it if you subscribe to us on YouTube so you can see all of this excitement, including Krisha modeling these inappropriately logoed sweatpants, which we knew we were doing it at the time. We thought it would be funny.
But boy, it is.
It's more accurate than we anticipated.
It points right to it.
Yeah. I think thigh gap is the term that they used to use. There was a term, for a while that was a hot trend.
I think there are certain boys in the world, they still love the thigh gap, which doesn't make any sense to me. But
it was a hot thing on social media and
I do not
for a
have
while.
I used to have a thigh gap and I no longer have a thigh gap. My thigh gap has closed.
Well, that's where it would be pointing, though.
It is. If I had a gap, it's in the gap.
So please buy the merch, subscribe on YouTube, listen on the audio podcast apps, do all of that stuff. Today is Taco Tuesday. Mm-hmm. At the second half of today's episode, we're going to pull a topic out of a basket, talk about content out of a basket.
Yeah.
And once again, thanks to my friend Fran for that suggestion.
It won't be about thigh gap.
Nope.
Whew. I am a little tired.
Well, you're working and rehearsing and learning a lot, because let's be real, we love this show. I love doing this show with you.
This show is my number one commitment.
This show means the world to me.
Yes.
As I will say over and over again.
Yes.
And in order to keep doing the show, we're thankful that we've gotten some donations, we've gotten some advertisers. Mm-hmm. So the show is... We're not going broke doing the show.
No.
We're not making money either, but we were able to buy the equipment that we need.
Well, we could technically pay ourselves, but then we're doing a disservice to ourselves because we're not investing in the show.
That would only be dozens of dollars at this point.
But
it's small money.
We technically could pay ourselves, but we're choosing not to. We choose to invest in the show.
Right.
Which means
that's a good value, good point.
Yes, which means we have to work.
We need jobs. I picked up a part-time very extremely part-time job.
But it's good though. I mean, it's part-time, but it takes up more of your part-time.
Yes.
And you're doing Scholars Bowl.
Yes, we're recording the 2021 season of Scholars Bowl over the course of the next few weeks, and you should see those on East Tennessee PBS in May and June.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
And so there's a lot of work happening.
Yeah. I mean, my part-time radio job, like you mentioned, yeah.
And since this past November, I have been working on this job that I now have.
Well, you knew that your job at Sweet Fanny Adams was coming to a close on New Year's Eve.
Right, and I knew that in 2019.
You took the gig because it was easier. You're a friend of the theater, you're experienced. It made sense to hire you to work out the last days of it than some new actress who might move there.
Right, and I loved being there.
Right, it makes sense to have a true family member, a cast member, finish out the theater.
And my other job that I was working pre-pandemic no longer exists. The job that I was working during pandemic no longer exists. Almost every job that I've had in the last year no longer exists. But Hatfield, McCoy, and Dolly's Stampede do exist. And now I am a full-time employee.
Of which one?
Both.
Wait a minute, this is new to me. You didn't tell me this part.
I will be splitting my time.
You didn't tell me there were horses involved.
Between both shows.
Because there's been some major changes up in Sevier County in the Smokies when the Fee Hedrick companies, which had Hatfield and McCoy and Comedy Barn, Hatfield,
McCoy, Comedy Barn, and Smoky Mountain Opry.
They were purchased, or David sold it to
he sold it.
The company that has Dolly's name on it. It's a management company that runs Dolly Stampede and Pirate Voyage.
Pirate Voyage and Hatfield McCoy.
They're now all in the same family, right? Because
Dolly,
before the merger, it would have been Stampede and Pirate Voyage, and now after the merger, it's all the other ones. Okay, wow. So how have you not told me about the Stampede?
Because
I talk to you every day.
I've been saving it for you.
Just bring it to me on the show.
We talk about things.
Look at you. You look very equestrian. It'd be fantastic.
So I am training. When I say training, I mean I have 3 days, 3 days total to learn the Ma McCoy swing part. So
for those not in the acting world, actually in DJ world, there's a job, used to be a full-time job in radio called the swing job. It's long since gone. I mean, you'd have to probably go back to the 70s or 80s, probably 70s, to find someone who was employed as a full-time swing DJ. Like if you worked you could work at WLS in Chicago and be a full-time swing, and what it meant is you worked every weekend, and when people were on vacation, you filled in for them.
Oh, so that's just regular DJs now. It's just everybody who works in radio.
Yes. So that full-time that job, the swing job, has long since been eliminated in radio, but it still exists in the theater world because you have to allow Ma McCoy, which is your friend Gail, to have a day off every once in a while.
Well, and also Broadway shows do it. Most of the people, when you see, I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, she was just ensemble on Broadway. But what a lot of people don't realize is when you are an ensemble member, let's say in Hamilton on Broadway, you're trained in at least one of the main roles in the show, because that's how people take days off. That's the traveling company. And so when Hatfield McCoy goes to doing shows 7 days a week, 4 to 5 shows a day,
which is any day now because spring break, right?
It's now.
Oh, okay.
It's this week. Then that means you have to have more people, and now I am more people. I am also the reason we mentioned yesterday that I have to get down to my actor weight.
How much weight have you lost since yesterday?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Probably a few ounces.
Probably.
Okay.
But I have to lose 5 pounds if I want this other role that requires me to do stunts. And when
this is at Hatfield and McCoy, or
both.
What kind of stunts?
If I am trained to do the stunts in one of the places, I am trained to do the stunts in both of the places.
It's the same stunts?
It's the same stunts.
This is behind the scenes,
so,
insider edition.
Well, I'm trying to kind of, I'm trying to be easy on.
I've been to the Stampede show, but I've not been to the Hatfield McCoy show yet. I mean, I watched some YouTube coverage of it, but I'm planning to come on a day when you are in the lead of Ma McCoy.
Yeah, and get you a chicken dinner.
Oh, do they have soup?
They do. They've got that same soup that Stampede has.
Come on.
That delicious, creamy.
I could take a close-up of that soup and just eat it with my eyes.
It's so good. All it is like half and half. It's delicious. It's so good. It's so good. It will not help me in losing the 5 pounds that I need to do to be able to swing.
But go ahead. I'm teasing about the soup. I'm exaggerating the soup.
I will be swinging high above the ground.
Oh, okay. So you've taught me. I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
And that's why you have to only weigh X pounds or less.
Yes.
Because it involves aerial work in theater, which means, let's shift it. If you were playing Peter Pan.
Yeah, you can't be a chunko. I mean, let's just be real. You can't.
If you're at Disney World and you're playing Tinkerbell.
You can't be a chunko.
Did you ever tinker?
No, I did not tinker, but I desperately wanted to.
I knew a couple of ballerinas from Oak Ridge Ballet who, at least one specifically, this girl named Megan, who was a Tinkerbell. Because obviously she's a ballerina anyway, but she was petite and qualified, could fit into the costume, and also they could pull the rigging and make her fly.
When I was there was a full-time tink, and she, like, her entire job
was to stay thin.
Her entire job was to stay, they had to be under 100 pounds. And I don't know if it's still that way or not, because the rigging, I'm sure, is different. But she had to be under 100 pounds, but she was full-time. But her entire job, because of the way that she wasn't a friend of Tinkerbell in the park, she was the flies down the zip line Tinkerbell. That was her job.
So she would do that during Phantasmic and during the Magic Cast, during the, what do you call Cinderella, the Castle, Cinderella's?
Yeah.
All that.
That's it.
That's her only job.
That was her job.
Was just get rigged up, and how many times a day?
One time.
A day?
A day. One time.
Is it a part-time job or full-time?
Nope, it was a full-time job.
You know why? Because they can't afford her to go get hurt doing something else.
It was her job.
You know, if they got her selling those Mickey Mouse ice cream bars during the day, something might happen. She might.
But guess what? I wasn't going to do stunts, but then I found out that I get insurance.
Well, that kind of makes sense, actually. If they're going to be, hanging you by your ankles and spinning you around, or whatever it is they do, I'm assuming that's
my arm strength. Feel that? Feel it right there?
You ready?
I'm going to need to use that a lot.
Heavens, yeah. Is that your good arm or your bad arm?
That's my good arm. Well, this is the arm that hurts, but it's the one I'm going to have to use. And it'll be fine. I displaced the weight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. So you don't hang by your ankles.
No.
You hang by your thumbs, your arm.
It's
like that.
A wrist strap.
So that's why you have to be 5 pounds less than you are.
Well, you have to climb the rope.
Oh my gosh.
You strap in, and you're in tandem with other people, so it's choreography, and you have to do it the exact same. And you strap in, you hold, and then you push out, and you wee.
And you can do that at 2 theaters. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But what about the other thing where you jump in the water?
Possibly.
That's different?
That's different.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. All right, I gotta come see this show.
I'm super excited.
I can hardly wait.
But it's been in the works for a long time, and it took a lot lot of work just to do, just to get done.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
First of all, you deserve it. You did work hard to get the part, and you auditioned well, and I know that because that's actually worth mentioning maybe after the commercial.
Yeah.
The desperate text we got the night before your audition. Because that was funny.
You're outing me, yeah.
Well, no, you contacted someone who knows about singing, and it's not me.
Yes.
But I was thinking that with that kind of exercise and physique and upper body strength and climbing the great heights, you have to be careful that Steve from Steve's Tree Service doesn't try to hire you to chop down trees.
Steve, I'll totally do it.
You'll go up there, you'll shimmy up that tree.
Give me a chainsaw and a rope and I'm happy. Dude, I would do it.
They have these smaller chainsaws that fit on their belts.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got, saws and machetes.
They got a holster. They got a chainsaw holster.
They got a chainsaw hanging off their belt when they're climbing up there, the tree climbers. They start slicing off the limb. Well, first of all, they don't start slicing. They tie everything.
Right.
They tie it with ropes.
They measure and then they tie.
They slice, and then someone on the ground who is, helping, and they do like it's very similar because you have to. In this case, you're not raising the limb up. You're lowering the limb down in such a fashion that it doesn't hurt anybody, doesn't break anything.
Yeah.
My fence, for example.
Frank has firsthand experience.
Yeah, another tree company told me they were going to have to remove my fence in order to take the tree down. And Steve's like, no, we'll just tie off the limb and make it land over there away from your fence. I'm like, okay.
Done and done.
That was a better deal for me.
And they've been in business for a super long time, and they serve all over East Tennessee. So it's not just Knoxville. It's not just West Knoxville. Give them a call or find them on Facebook.
Yeah. Now, you memorized the phone number last week.
I didn't this week. 865-257-6214.
You almost had it. You knew the 257 part.
I did.
All right. Yeah, call Steve and Renee and find them online, do all the things, tell them Frank and...
I'm learning 2 scripts. Give me a break.
All right. Well, tell them Frank used their services. They'll know who I am.
Yeah.
I got another text from Steve at 6:30 this morning.
Did you?
Have a good day.
Oh, sweet, Steve. Thanks, Steve.
Well, he knows when I share his episode on Facebook, he knows that I must be awake. So even though I'm trying to get back to sleep, it doesn't matter. So, big audition.
Yeah.
This is not, I wouldn't even talk about the rigging and the dancing and all of that part of the losing the 5 pounds. It was, you had to sing a song
and this was
actually in the show.
My third or fourth audition with them.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
This was...
So this is a dinner theater show. You go there, you sit there, and if you're in the very front, you're in the splash zone. It's as is marked. And you might get splashed by a jumping duck dog.
Yeah, or some dynamite.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's the Hatfields on one side, and they're having a feud with the McCoys on the other side. It's kind of like Stampede in that regard, where this side of the audience cheers for the Hatfields, and this side cheers for the McCoys. So I want to make sure I'm on the McCoy side.
Right.
And even though I'm friends with Ted Hatfield, I have to be on the McCoy side because you're playing Ma McCoy.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is it, Grandma, Ma?
Ma.
Ma. And that picture of the wig you sent me, that's not the real wig, is it? Because you totally look like Norma Bates.
Maybe.
Is that her name? No.
What's her name? Mrs. Bates? Mrs. Bates. It's a Mrs. Bates.
It's not Norma. It's Velma, whatever her name is. It doesn't matter. Mother Bates. You look like, that's who you look like is with that.
Yeah.
And then we get this text as, would you listen to my singing?
It had been, I've been at Sweet Fanny Adams, but it had been it had been a minute. Actually, I text messaged you and I said, if I sent me singing this audition song, would you and Jere please listen to it and just give me some feedback? Because it had been a while since I auditioned, and I'm not the most confident singer. I know I can sing well.
Now, I am the world's worst singer, but my wife sings love beautifully.
But you can hear,
yeah.
You can
but
hear.
My wife actually has taken singing lessons in her life, and she also when she's with the opera and the choral society, they're always refreshing lessons, and she's got the terminology.
Yeah.
So she listens to it, and before I know it, she has replied to you via email and with something about your palate.
Yes, and she was reminding me because my voice has gotten stronger and better the more time that goes in between me smoking cigarettes, which was wonderful. We're almost at 3 years.
Congratulations.
But I get nervous in my higher register. See? And she gave me a great note that just reminded me to relax and not tighten it up.
Yeah, and approach the note from above. Do you, when you use your lower register, what does that mean?
When you're down here?
No, when you're talking to me and we're like at the boot factory and all of a sudden you go into...
I go into my lower register. I'm like,
DJ mode. And
hey, what's going on? Hi, how are you?
It's clear that you've got control of the situation and all I have to do is just sidekick it. And I'm like, okay.
When I go to here, this is my natural voice and it means I am comfortable.
But sometimes, I'll show you the bits I'm talking about, where you go even a bit lower.
Oh, hey.
Like, because we're at the boot store and you're like, okay, we're going to go and do boots now.
Oh, is that what I do?
Yes.
Like, I don't,
it's
is
business.
this it? Right here? Okay, now we're going to do this.
It's business,
It's
Krisha.
probably like that. It gets a little more forceful and a little more ba-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah.
But when I talk up here, I took an acting class one time, and the very first note that I was given was get off your voice. Because right here, it's a very comfortable place, and I'll talk like this if I'm nervous. And it sounds, it's my voice, and sometimes I'm here.
But normally...
But if I'm comfortable, this is my voice.
This is the voice I'm used to.
Yeah, this is my voice. I'm comfortable. But when I went to acting classes, my first acting classes, she told me to get off my voice because I was always talking right on top of my... Yeah. It's Taco Tuesday.
Well, let's taco it up. Let's talk about content out of a basket, and we are going to pick a topic. We're running a little thin on topics.
Yeah, we need more.
But we could... use some more. So if you don't mind to email them to us at krishaandfrank@gmail.com or text them to us at the number that Krisha is about to reveal.
865-236-0399.
Thank you.
99. I like this question. It seems pretty basic, but I like it. What is your favorite salad dressing?
Oh, crud. Okay.
Yeah?
Go ahead.
It depends.
Of course, it depends. I at restaurants will often I grind my gears over the salad dressing question.
Oh dear.
Because I don't like any of them really.
Yeah.
And I guess I tolerate. I usually take some kind of vinaigrette. But I've come to learn that the one that you usually would go to is the fat-free raspberry vinaigrette.
Yeah.
Is really just corn syrup.
That's
just
all it is.
Sugar.
Yeah.
And
it's fat-free, but it's sugar.
It's one of the worst ones you could possibly order. So I've tried to get the balsamic vinaigrette. I'm an anti-ranch person, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I know people love that ranch or hate ranch. And My son loves ranch, and I can't wrap my head around it.
I'm a ranch snob, though. I'm very snobbish about my ranch. I will only eat it in certain places.
Is there a brand that you will or won't?
Oh, Charlie's brand that you get in the Friggy section that's way too expensive for ranch dressing.
Because it's in a jar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. But I recently discovered Olive Garden now sells their Italian vinaigrette dressing in the grocery store.
I did not know that.
And so I've been all up on it.
I just use olive oil, period. No
vinegar?
Just dump the olive oil on there.
I like a pretty dry salad.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like them wet moosh. I've been making a lot of salads at home.
Of course.
And actually, the other day, my dad took me to lunch at Not Watson's.
I like Not Watson's.
You can turn
Didn't I mention that last week about the burgers?
You can turn any of their burgers into a salad.
That's what Jere does.
And I did that, and it was delicious.
Yeah, you get these. I mean, you can get the salad with the burger with the fried egg on it.
Yeah.
And they'll still put it on top of a salad.
Yeah, and I got the kale. It was like their kale. It was good.
Yeah, I like Not Watson's a lot. They got great burgers, and we discovered it because Stock and Barrel, which is well known for its burgers and its whiskey, is smaller, and there's a longer wait.
There's always a wait there.
Well, I don't know how it's been during pandemic times.
I'm sure there's always a wait.
But so we, out of desperation, went and put our names in at Not Watson's, and whoever called first is who we're going to go, and Not Watson's had our table first. So, and then we went, this is really good. Because we had already eaten it at Stock and Barrel. We knew the burgers are comparable. They would.
Oh.
If we were doing a blind burger taste test.
Burger.
All right. So I used to be a Wishbone. I know we can talk about salad dressing forever because that's part of the bit. But my parents were exclusive Wishbone Italian snobs.
My
in the old
granny
days.
was French dressing or Catalina. Remember Catalina dressing?
And now, is it like Russian dressing kind of, or Thousand Island?
Kind of. Catalina, it reminds me.
I can picture it. I never had it.
It reminds me of a combination of French and Thousand Island.
Yeah.
I do love Thousand Island dressing, but only on burgers.
See, now my mother used to tell us we would make our own quote-unquote Russian dressing when we had roast beef. Oh. Because you would take a glob of mayonnaise, a glob of ketchup, and a glob of relish and mix it together really just right on the sandwich. And it's Russian dressing, Thousand Island dressing, whatever she called it. It's the same.
Yeah, French and Catalina dressing. Like that's...
Yeah, ooh. I got into a thing for a while where I was buying every delicious diet salad dressing, but of course they were getting all the sugar, the fat-free ones. Like I've got in the fridge still some raspberry walnut vinaigrette, which is fat-free and sweet. So
I've been eating my salads without dressing lately, so I take just a tiny sprinkle, like maybe half a teaspoon of dressing, and that's...
What else goes on your greens? You put on cheese, nuts, bread?
No, I've got nuts and berries. I love pomegranates in my salad.
Oh, that's the best.
I've been putting a
Not
burger...
everyone realizes how good that is.
They're delicious. I've been putting a burger. I'll either cook a burger or some turkey, and I mix that in, and I like a little bit of Parmesan cheese and
that goes
black
well with
olives.
the olive oil.
Black olives, and do you know those snacking peppers that you can buy? Like they come in a bag of peppers. They're sweet peppers.
I've never had them.
They come in a little like like cellophane bag, but they're sweet snacking peppers.
You put those on a salad.
And I just yum yum and pepperoncini peppers. I like a little spice.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Thanks, man.
That's fancier than me.
Yep.
Yeah, I just take the Sam's Club lettuce oil.
Yeah.
Or if you put the blue cheese or the feta, that you make sure you get the oil on the cheese.
I try not to put too much cheese in there.
I know I shouldn't. I'm having some issues with too much cheese.
All right, we gotta go.
All right, thank you.
Hope you have a fantastic day.
It's St. Patrick's Day Eve.
Yes.
So put something green on for tomorrow.
Make sure you put out green for the leprechauns.
That's what it is. Well, I could tell you about the Leprechaun Whisperer. Tomorrow. I have a I've been to visit the Leprechaun Whisperer.
You're like, I have a leprechaun whisperer.
Well, I mean...
I have a leprechaun.
I'm Facebook friends with him. We can contact him. But, I mean, I can tell you all about him. I can even do an impression.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Fantastic.
We'll see you tomorrow. It's very nice.
All right. Check out audibletrial.com/Krisha and Frank.
Yeah.
Keep the first thing you download during the first 30 days. That part is free, and then on day 31, you either start paying or you sign off, but you still keep the download. And if you use our code, which is this URL, audibletrial.com/Krisha and Frank.
It helps us.
Yeah, it's like putting a little money in our tip jar.
It's the same thing.
Which you can also do.
You benefit from it as well.
Right, because you get to listen to things, including us. This program is, for some mysterious reason, on Audible Pod.
It is.
And every other podcasting app.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Aye. Oh, should I be talking like my Irish voice?
Oh, Tomorrow we will do a show.